If I were to ask you what the best DPS in the game is, while also taking into consideration the lowest amount of investment, what would your answer be? Perhaps Nivelette? Or Navia? Well, what if I told you that all of those answers are wrong? Well, kind of. The character I'm talking about wasn't actually made to be a DPS at all, and I don't think I've ever seen someone build them as a DPS. You probably know who I'm talking about, and you'd be right to assume that it's Chiori, and dare I say that her unbuffed damage is similar to Navia's while also being unbuffed. In this video, I'll take you across all the stages of despair while using over 20 days worth of resin to ascend, farm for, and build Chiori into the main DPS she's always dreamed of being. As well as explain my thought process to everything. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel, it helps a lot. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Well, you can't really build a character without having them, now can you? Well, I thought together. My challenge account desperately needed a good DPS, and Chiori was perfect for this. Alright, I should probably tell you about the account. This isn't a regular one, as I said before. I'm doing a challenge called Role Reversal, where I don't allow myself to use any of the character's intended role. Which means, no support Nahida, DPS Navia, or sub DPS Chiori. Any other role is fair game, as long as the character allows me to play them another way. If not, then they're as good as nothing, which explains my choice for the best DPS in the game. Yes, there are other Geo characters, but none are as good as Chiori, and so I broke the bank through more than 50 wishes at Chiori but got nothing. So I did what any normal being in this situation would do. I did a stream where I keep streaming until I get her while having a 50-50 to win, and not even close to pity. I managed to get more than 30 wishes, not including events, in just a couple of hours. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have to explore almost the entirety of Inazuma and Natlan, then it really sounds like a lot. And so the only logical step to do is level her up to an acceptable level, so let's do that. Chiori's boss isn't that hard. I'd say the hardest thing about it is clicking the right boss and not to get the wrong boss drops. Second hardest thing would be to not get hit by someone's stationary attacks and the cryo attacks while also being 10 miles away from the boss. Well, I have Hyper Bloom to thank for that, but still, this boss's patterns are easy at best once you get used to them. I'm now sending her to level 90, if you're wondering. My wishing luck might be way above average, but my artifact luck is the exact opposite. To put it into perspective, I've been playing this game for 2 years now, and I only have elemental damage bonus, goblets, on my account, and that's all I have ever gotten. I almost spent 5 months once trying to get a full set for Kazuha. Yeah, that's how bad it is. So I try to maximize the amount of artifacts to higher my chances for usable ones. Anyway, the plan is simple. Build a Chiori that's as free-to-play friendly as possible and make her as viable as possible. The weapon choice is rather trivial, since the only usable weapon I have is Harbinger of Dawn. Its passive isn't bad at all, and Chiori also ascends into crit rate, so we can comfortably focus on other damage stats. The only bad thing about it is that it's hard to keep Chiori's HP over 90% because my Nahida can heal all that well, but if played properly, that shouldn't be a problem. The artifact set to be farmed if you also want to build her as a DPS is, from what I've seen, the 4-piece Husk of Opulent Dreams. Since the set is made for Geo characters that scale off of defense, it's pretty much a perfect fit for her, since she scales amazingly off of defense. You can also get some pretty fun rotations and fun quick-paced teams, since she'll all be on field for at most 10 seconds. And with that, the ascension work is over. We'll add up the total amount of resin spent so far and transition to the next part. Ah yes, finally, the part you all waited so long for, and also the part where I start to slowly regret all my choices in life. It took me 5 days to use all my resin. So, how did it go? Well, as good as it can be expected. My artifact luck is horrible if it wasn't obvious already. I got one good artifact once every 500 resin spent. Not a great one, but good. It also didn't help much that this attempt at a Hyper Bloom team wasn't that good and I had to stop farming numerous times to heal to full HP, and at times I wanted to commit Jump King. But I felt a light at the end of the tunnel, a hope and guarantee that I have to get something great if I keep working hard. At least something was learned from all of this, and that is that these domains should never be farmed if you want valuable artifacts. Just don't. Don't be stupid like me and spend over 4,000 resin on this trash domain when you can easily strongbox the artifacts. You're better off farming the emblem or golden tube domains. But if you really want to build Chiori like this, then I recommend using a team similar to Ito's best teams. Chiori, Goro, someone to create a Geo construct, so Zhuangli for the res, shred and shield, or Ningguang for a wall. Either way, you want a Geo construct because of Chiori's A4 passive that gives her 20% Geo damage bonus when a construct is created. And as for the 4th character, you can put whoever you want. A Bennett, some off-field DPS, a healer, doesn't matter. And as for the builds, they're all the same. Chiori can use Ethos or Noel's artifacts since there is no difference between what stats they want, but Chiori can also work with attack instead of defense, but scaling is much better with defense. Goes the same, 4-piece husk with 5 bow, preferably R5. I'd build Zhongli for his shield, but you can also put a 5 lance on him and give him some damage stats, and as for Ningguang, it really doesn't matter since she won't be on fielding. Anyway, if you're wondering how long this took, it took me about 8 hours, not including farming together. If you also count that, it's more like 13 hours. But the question is, was it all worth it? The final build consists of a 4-piece Husk of Apple and Dreams with a level 90 Harbinger of Dawn. I do admit it's not the best build in the entire game, but as I've mentioned before, my luck is worse than Banner's when it comes to artifacts, so we have to make do with what we have. And still, there are many improvements that can be made to this build. I could go for more crit damage, a tad bit more ER, and of course a defense sense, but still, she does some insane damage even without those optimizations, and without buffs. Oh, and I almost forgot about the talents, but I can't fight the whale for the weekly boss materials, since I don't have it unlocked. I barely got any usable artifacts from this adventure, and from the ones I did manage to get, hold like garbage. You can see yourself the artifacts I did manage to get, and while they might not be the best, my stats look great overall. Are they inflated by Harbinger of Dawn? 100%, but I have to compensate for something. And also, let's ignore the fact that she has a 5-piece husk set on. I have nothing better than what I have on her. Sounds crazy, but it's true. I barely followed this account because it was too weak until I managed to get some characters that actually work with reversed rolls. But leaving that aside, her damage actually shocked me. Without any significant buff, her burst deals over 40,000 damage, her skill deals around 12,000 and her normal attacks are solid too. And this is all with her talents at level 6. This is just as good as some of my best DPSs on my main account, like Ayaka. Though that comparison doesn't really work since Ayaka's damage is dispersed across a period of time and isn't just one big damage instance, but still, Chiori has higher damage numbers. I'll put on a damage showcase on screen if I haven't already, and you see for yourself how insane her damage is, and she rivals some other main DPS characters. Hell, with proper buffs she can even beat a lot of them, but unfortunately, I don't have any proper buffers on this count. Still, I'm confident that you can comfortably hit over 100,000 with her. If I get on my main account, I dare say that she's just as good as my Raiden. She can deal only around 30,000 damage with her burst unbuffed. But as I've said, I don't have any proper buffers, and as a consequence, I also don't have any good teammates to test with. Chiori is supposed to be a sub DPS, and that's clear. Her Geo infusion only lasts for 5 seconds, and her doors deal more damage than herself. It's way better to double tap a skill and use the coordinated attack with your next character in line. She does way more damage that way. But if you still don't want to use her like Albedo, I hope this video served as a good enough guide for you. And if I said anything wrong, then please have some mercy in the comments. But anyway, this is the end of the video. It's different than what I usually do, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I also apologize for the lack of content lately. I made an announcement on my Discord server and I went into detail there. So if you wanna be notified if anything happens with me, or just wanna get to know some people, then join the community. Thank you so much for sticking to the end, and I see you in the next video.